very happy with the win. I think we talked about that Saturday. Saturday's game was the first time that ECU has won at Virginia Tech since 1991. I didn't realize that until I don't think about those things going through the game, but when you hear a fact like that, you understand how big a win this was for, especially for Pirate Nation and our fans and for our kids. Knowing that, finding that out, and it was a tough place to play. I'm very proud of our team, and I'm very proud of our staff. That's my satisfaction, is seeing those guys happy, and it's all about them. And this was a game that the players and I thought the coaches earned, and we knew it would be that way going to face a Coach Beamer team, no doubt. We've talked about commitment to our team and to the mission, and those aren't just buzzwords. They're not buzzwords for us. Those are things that we demand of our staff first, begins with me, and of our players, and those are reasons, if we continue that, will be the reasons for success. That's what, and if we stay on those, and that's what we believe in, that's what we will. Our players believe in our system, and they believe in each other, and that's what helped get the job done on Saturday. When things were going well, they were able to play, and then when things got tough, knowing you're facing a premier and perennial power team at their place, the commitment to the team and the commitment to the mission, you saw it there on the sideline, and that's why there wasn't a panic or pointing of fingers. The 24-hour rule, it has expired. Last night, it expired after we watched film, and we are in Operation Move On as of last night and today, going heavy at it. Knock out the injury reports right quick. DeVaris Brunson will be out, and Joe Carter is doubtful right now, but we'll find out later on him, and you guys have the other guys that are long-term. One of the things that, after the game offensively, I thought we started fast with 21 points early. We challenged them downfield, which we knew we had to, against a team that would apply pressure and man-to-man defense like Bud does. And I thought our receivers were able to make competitive plays downfield. We made critical plays when our backs were against the wall. I thought that was good. And at the end of the day, we were able to average 7 yards per play against one of the top defenses in the country year in, year out. Those were outstanding when you get that. Defense, I thought we played hard, swung the ball well. I thought we were very physical on defense. We knew going into the game, and after watching Ohio State film, we would have to be, and that's really every week. We did a great job of controlling the run and able to pressure the quarterback and affect the quarterback. We did a pretty good job, I thought. We want to do better, but get on the field. And we had what Rick calls 20 mad plays, make a different plays. That's a tackle for a loss, or a sack, or interception, or a back down. And Rick keeps up with those stats. So, and the special teams, Worth, our first-year punter, I'm proud of him. He had some young player deals happen to him, but was ready to go. But he's averaging 47 yards per kick, and right now that's got him 6th in the nation with 48.4, which is good for a third game in. Very proud of how he's approached it. Warren Harvey, 3 out of 4 from the out of the end zone on the missed field goal. It was a misunderstanding of Warren being ready, and Worth thought he saw the nod, but snapped it a little bit early, but we figured it out. Warren's practiced well and performed well. I thought our field position and play by our coverage teams was very good. And that was an emphasis by Kirk, as well as trying to get positive yards on our return game. And they call it dog ball, the coaches do, so I was proud of them. So, staff, great group of guys, staff, and they're working hard right now on our next opponent, UNC, and we know we have another talent team, ACC team coming into Dowdy-Ficklin, and the coaching staff is right now preparing for them at a high pace, began preparing for them really yesterday really. So looking forward to it. UNC offensively, Marquise Williams is a talented quarterback. Crashard Davis and T.J. Logan, wide receiver. T.J.'s running back, very talented, always big up front with Carolina. Talented offensive lineman that we, of course, have our eyes on too. Defensively, always great athleticism with Travis Hughes and Brian Walker and Ethan Farmer. And we know there we'll have to be ready to be consistent, play 11-man football on offense and defense. And then Ryan Switzer, the receiver and also returner, is a guy we got to make sure we do a great job on our coverage teams with him, because he's a guy that can make a difference in the game pretty quickly. So, any questions?
Well, talk about moving on. Last week, I remember you saying the guys got on the bus from South Carolina were already focused on Virginia Tech. Is it harder this week almost to move on after such a big win versus a tough loss the week before?
If we had just began, that's great, Troy. If we had just began implementing commitment to the team and commitment to our focus and mission this week or last week, it would be tough. But I think because we began that process on day one when we came, and we've been consistent with that message from team first to focus on the vision and mission first to 24-hour rule to, you've heard it, y'all been here, to play the next play. Now those old guys understand that, and I think this week we know we enjoyed that 24-hour rules, and really they started watching the film on the bus. I heard Kirk grading special teams, Lincoln grading offense, and I can tell Rick and John Wiley, those guys is on defense. So, and then we got here, we watched the film as a staff again, but made our corrections among ourselves, and then team, and then on the field last night, we dove right into UNC pretty quickly.
Coach, do you ever tell your team or tell your guys, take a day to play video games for 2 hours just to like decompress and like chill and unwind a little bit, or are you just pretty much full bore, all right, keep going?
After the 24-hour rule, once they come over, we have treatment with Jake. Study hall begins, which our guys are in those. Study hall. Coach C has lifting for developmental lift for guys who are redshirting and travel team. Then we begin meeting at 4:10 as a team, on the field at 6:15, off the field at 7:15. You know, so we start into our routine, and we've been that way since the first time we came. And so our day, the kids begin pretty busy once we get here on Sunday, but the 24-hour rule is in effect, and trust me, those kids, they got time for video games. Once they come over here, it's that routine.
But I'm sorry, you don't worry about it. Just, you know, emotional game last week, emotional game the week before, emotional game this week. You don't worry about that. You kind of take it slow as far as emotional is concerned.
Well, I mean, we know we play a tough schedule. I think it's, for us, we look at it as a chance to find out how our commitments are developing. You know, you find out some things you're doing very well. You find out some things you're working on, need to work on. And, you know, those two teams, the last two teams, two top coaches at their place, perennial powers, we had to play at a level that we need to continue our vision at the end of the season. So I'm not worried about that, and that comes from, again, like what Troy asked, we began thinking and talking this way and presenting this way from like day one. So it's not like we have to think about it for this week. We just stay with it, and somebody asked me again today, you believe in what you believe in. If you don't believe in it, you don't need to believe in it, you know. So we believe in what we're doing, and we believe in, our kids believe in it, which is even better, you know. That's not even just better, that's like 95% of it, they believe in it, you know, because we've been consistent with that message with them. And what we expect off the field, what we expect here, what we expect there. And, you know, so here it doesn't throw us off if we have to do that.
Coach, you talk a lot about drowning out the noise. Is it almost more difficult, though, to avoid some of the positive noise than the negative sometimes?
The drown out noise applies to both. You know, the only expectations our kids and what we talk to them about is what we put on ourselves, because we have high expectations. And with expectations, the kids know because they put in the commitment through doing what we ask them to do, off season with Coach C, fall camp, you know. You know, and then the only opinion that matters, I told them, would be mine. I tell them you did good, you did good. If I tell them you did bad, you know what I mean? So they believe me and they trust you. If they know you care about them, they'll care about what you know. And so, yeah, the positive things are going to be great, but they understand too what we talk about and what Troy asked. We talked about from day one, you know. So I'm glad we're playing in Dottie Ficklin in front of our family. I mean, that's big time. Getting home, and I know there'll be a lot of excitement here in Greenville. I know getting a lot of calls from people. I know Coach Dye and Pat Dye Jr. I can't wait to smack him around a little bit. And even Pat Dye III coming in town. Going to talk to the team on Friday. And a lot of guys, Leon Green, a lot of guys coming in town. So that'll be positive noise. But at the same time, those guys are coming in with a serious mindset too. So that's for me and for the players. Players will be ready.
So, Ruff, you get a big win over Virginia Tech, got North Carolina this week. How does this opponent compare to last week's opponent?
Every team is different. Every year is different. Our team is different from last year. Larry's team is different from last year. He's had some years to get his kids in there at UNC, a couple of years, and his team is changing as well. Last week, Coach Beamer's been there for a length of time. He's been consistent in his message and recruiting. So both teams are very talented. Both teams well coached. Both teams recruit well. Both teams have high caliber players.
Coach, can you describe what you saw from your defense, especially some key plays in the secondary from Mr. Hawkins?
Oh yeah, I was very pleased with our defense. They were what we call 11-man football. They did their job very well. Played very fast and aggressive. I thought we had times and we made plays. Josh. And I think Josh will attribute that to affecting the quarterback and providing pressure on the quarterback. But Josh also has a great knack for coming to football. A lot of people forget that Josh was one of the top running backs in the state. So we knew great plays by him. But I like the fact that Rick Smith, our defensive coordinator, and John Wiley and Dwayne Price and Mark Yellow had a great plan of blending the fronts and blitzes and movements. And our kids did a great job executing them.
So I was talking about the defense. Can you discuss the play of Terry Williams and how big that was to have him back?
It was good to get Terry. You know, we planned on, we monitored practice reps with him. Like Shane, Terry's been here the same length of time. So he's heard the same beliefs and ideas I have. And Terry's been one of those guys who we talk about. This whole team has a story and has some type of adversity. Terry is evident of that. And he's bounced back, and you see him, even when he was injured, Troy, talking to his young kids, like Demetri McGill, DeMaje Bailey, Kahadre Hooker, who just came, you know, and he didn't know I was watching, and he wasn't doing it to prove something to me, but making sure they were doing things well. So to have him back and be an impact, a guy who understands our system and can command double team at that position in the 3-4, I think was very critical. And we'll have to monitor his reps. You know, he's a little sore after the game, so we got to be smart. But leadership was a big thing from Terry. And when I say it, like talk about Shane, but Terry preaches team and commitment to it and focus, like doing the game. I mean, in that game right there, you can't overlook that play you just played. You got to play that play the next play, then play that play the next play. That's the commitment to the focus, focus on the vision. Terry understands that, and you can hear him telling the kids that, guys, don't worry about that last play. Get ready for this next series or whatever.
What are the challenges of facing a guy like Marquise Williams, who leads their team in rushing, also can throw it around pretty good? Dual quarterback.
Michael Brewer was a dual quarterback. He's big, strong, athletic. He's been in the system now. He understands what helps is he'll understand what Larry and Seth Latrell, and Seth and I work with Lincoln and all of us at Texas Tech, the offensive coordinator. He'll understand what Larry wants as far as ball distribution, being able to extend plays with his feet, but he's got some weapons around him. So we have to be concerned with making sure we do our job another week, making sure we continue to make routine plays, whether it's doing our job routinely, make common plays, and then plan the next play. If you have a job of, for example, contain on him, we better make sure we're there and being sound, and because he can do all of it.
Do you spend extra time preparing for his running ability in practice, or do you just kind of let the players' instincts carry them once the game?
No, everything we do is designed around whoever we're playing containment. We don't face many, I call them straight drop quarterbacks anymore. And on our schedule, we don't have any. They're all going. The trend started 2 years ago with, really about 3 years ago with the zone blitzing and those things coming in about. When we first started this offense, it was Cliff Kingsbury, straight drop back, BJ could move a little bit, Sonny Cumbie, those guys. But now you have the guys like we have now, and Shane and Kirk and those guys we recruited that can move around and be able to sit in the pocket if need be, but can have. So defending any quarterback, Marquise, anyone, we have to prepare for that already. So our defense is designed that way.
Talk about the familiarity you have with Coach Fedora and what he likes doing offensively, because you guys date back to the Air Force and UNLV days. And talk about the familiarity you have with what he does offensively.
Yeah, long time. Came up the same way, ground up. Understand, you have to work and don't neglect anything. Larry and I, we talk, have a lot of respect for Larry, and moved along. And I can remember the day he got the job at SMU, and we were at the coaching convention. And I was so proud of him. He's the same here. When I came here, he's one of the first to get Southern Miss to text and talk. But every team is different. I think what you do when you believe in your system, which Larry does, like we do, you can expand on it, or you become more proficient and efficient at it. So Larry now feels good with Marquise, and Seth is probably a great puzzle fit for him because Seth understands our offense, which Seth Luttrell, which blends with what Larry does. So those two make a pretty good combination. So we have to make sure we do a great job of doing our job and making plays, and making routine plays, and making sure this game is going to be big of playing the next play. That message is what we'll tell them.
Coach, so many head coaches downplay the significance of an in-state rival game and how important it is. But being that you're a former athlete here at East Carolina and gone through that rivalry with UNC, do you approach that with your players a little different?
Well, it's going to happen on its own. Having played here, all in-state games are important. I know Coach Tompa feels the same way, administrative staff. I think anytime we can in-state it for both teams, and because Larry and I came from the same ground. It's not like he thinks of us. He knows we're competitors, and we're very good friends, and he understands the importance of in-state rivalries. This game will have enough excitement on its own. The kids won't have to. What our job is to make sure we can control. And we begin the planning process now and preparation part, but making sure we don't move outside of commitment and dedication to our team first. That's very big, and embracing your role, making sure you're doing everything you can to make the team better, doing things off the field, on the field, all that, and staying committed and dedicated, ability to stand focused on the vision and the mission. And the vision is not Saturday yet. It's like today, making sure you have a great day today, and then tomorrow having a great Tuesday. That's what we did last week. Really good Tuesday. And Wednesday came back, because Tuesday's a big day because you install the majority of the game plan. And then Thursday, sharpen up day. And then Friday is a big day. So that'll be what is important for us as a staff and our players. But the excitement will come from this game on its own. And in-state rivalries are great, I think, for our fan base. And we have the greatest fans in the country here. And we've talked about it, I know, with Coach and our administrative team. They'll get a chance to see our Pirate Nation, our atmosphere, on national stage this week. I think it's ESPN again, and now in Dottie Ficklin, and we can't wait to let them see that, the country. I think we've talked about it, and now they get a chance to see it. So I'm anxious to put our fans in Dottie Ficklin and Greenville and East Carolina and Eastern North Carolina out there.
Is there a carryover in a rivalry type series from year to year? And did you address that they're going to come in thinking of what you guys did to them last year in their place?
No, don't bring it up. I don't bring it up. We don't bring it up. I think each team is different. Each personality of each team is different. The leaders are different. The players are different. Like Josh Hawkins, middle of last spring, would not have made those two plays he made against Virginia Tech. I'll just be honest with the group. Mentally, he wasn't there, but through summer and fall camp of Rick asking him very politely to do the things he asked him to do, he understands the importance of doing his job better. I'm sure the same thing's happening with Larry. You got some guys that aren't even developing with the week off they had. So, you know, we don't have to bring it up because of what we keep preaching, what we believe in, and we believe in what we believe in. And if we didn't, we don't need to bring it up. So we know we're facing a talented team. I mentioned that before. You can watch it on the film and you see it. Also, you see them taking on Larry's personality and his coaches. Seth Luttrell, who Larry added, I've coached with Seth. Seth was on the Oklahoma team that won the national championship. Had to coach against him. I'm getting old, you know what I mean? He was a fullback on that team. I can remember facing with Josh Heupel. I can remember right now leading up on my linebackers. You know what I'm saying? It's just vivid. Now he's coaching and great football coaching. So he and Larry's personalities and mentalities blend just like Lincoln and I's and Rick and Kirk's as coordinators and head coach.
Considering how that game went, do you expect them to come in with a little bit more fire, a little bit more edge?
I can't answer that for what Larry's team is going to come in. I can answer what we got to do is dive right into film when I leave you guys, check on the staffs to make sure they're okay, got everything they need. This is an academic day for our kids. They'll come by and visit with their coach, so I'm going to check on that. That'll be what's done today. And then get right back and plan for tomorrow, having a great install Tuesday, big day. And we have to make sure we handle ourselves. And we know what's other end waiting on us. You know, we can watch the film. So we got to make sure we do our best at doing our best at staying committed to what we believe in. I keep saying that because it's not a buzzword. If we believe in it, and I'm anxious to get around the film and dive into the film a little bit better, a little bit, because they got on a great streak toward the end of last year, and that's when you may have saw the belief in what Larry was doing. There's that point in the program where the kids believe in what you're doing, and you saw that toward the end. So Larry's a good football coach.
You've been on the road for 2 weeks. How comforting is it to be able to sleep in your own beds this weekend, have a little bit more time to prepare, and to be at home, you know, in terms of just time and logistics and being off the road?
It's good to be playing in Dowdy-Ficklin. It's the greatest venue in the country. I don't back down from that. I got time. Somebody else can compare some other venue than what we have. I got plenty of time. We have the best fan base. Go ahead, I can compare. I got plenty of time. I can compare it to anyone. So coming home to that is good. It's not magical though. We have to do our job, but it is coming home. Our routine doesn't change off the road or on the road. We'll still have our Thursdays and our Friday routine. We're able to take the traveling team away and isolate them and focus and hone in on that. So, but it's good, always good to be playing at home. Nothing like playing in Dowdy-Ficklin.
Coach, can you kind of talk about Cam Worley? Obviously a huge game on Saturday.
Yeah, proud of Cam. Cam is a guy like Jimmy Williams and Zay and Deuce, who was a quarterback who we move around. And last year you saw him growing and you saw him not understanding how to use his strength and athletic ability. So it was good to see him make competitive plays. There's making plays and there's competitive plays. When someone is on you tight like that and able to go up. So I was proud of Cam and his contribution to our team. And he's a quiet guy, and you know, he's very complimentary. And you saw him and the rest of the receivers. This is how you know when you see the other kids, not just from offense, but defensive kids going up in the locker room, tell them how proud they were of him. Things I know, like Coach and Nick see, some guys, but after the game, that's what, for me, that's the coolest part. Watching them happy, that's the coolest part. The coaches, to me, that's the coolest part. And I just try to stay out of it and digest it because I wish I could bottle it up. Most exciting time for me is seeing those kids happy. Most exciting time is seeing our coaches happy. That's it for me. I've been up so long. I mean, man, that's cool. So all the kids went up to Cam. Offense, defense, all of them. You know, proud of them, you know.
Rough against Virginia Tech. Excuse me, they tied up late in the game. What are you telling your team on the sidelines at that point, right? You know, between that touchdown and the kickoff?
We got plenty of time, minute and 20 plus. It was brought up about the ball being on 35 or 25. It didn't matter to me because of the time. we think of a yard per second. So we knew 35-yard line. We had, you know, what's that, 65. We had enough time to get down there. We had some timeouts reserved. So let's go play. Let's make some plays. Very important time to do your job. Very important time at making routine plays, which you saw in that. Very important time of playing the next play. And we talked to them about having to take it, especially on the road. You're not going to give it, take it. And we did that. We had to take it. We had to make plays, and you had to actually take it. So I was proud of them on that drive because they did that.